Hello, my name is William Olam, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about the Black Wall Street. In 1906, a gentleman by the name of O.W. Gurley purchased 40 acres of land in what is known as Greenwood, Tulsa. His mission for this land was to help other African Americans escape the refuge and suffering of Mississippi. 4 years later, in 1910, a gentleman by the name of Dr. Simon Berry owned the only local transportation. He was making on an average of $500 a day after taxes. That's equivalent of $1,200, 500 US American dollars today. In a time that Oklahoma only had 2 airports, 6 black families owned their private jets. The US dollar would circulate 36 to 100 times in this tight community before leaving the area on an average of 1 year. Today, the dollar will stay in a community on an average of 4 minutes. So what happened to this community? On May 30th, 1921, a gentleman named Dick Rowland, 19, was walking out of a restroom and tripped and fell into a nearby elevator. As he was falling, he reached out to brace himself and grabbed onto the nearest thing, which happened to be the arms of a young lady named Sarah Page, who was operating the elevator. She let out a scream, and Dick got up and ran out. The sales clerk, seeing him, called the cops, and when they arrived, he stated that Dick Rowland had sexually assaulted Miss Sarah Page. So the next day, on June 1st, officers went to Dick's home and arrested him. About 4 hours later, 4 men went to the courthouse carrying guns, demanding Dick's release. The judge let them know that they needed to go home and let the law take care of it. On their way down the court steps, they were intercepted by 4 white men demanding that they give their guns. The man in the front said he would not give his gun, and when one of the gentlemen reached for it, a shot was fired. The men quickly scattered and ran back to their community. About 2 to 3 hours later, a nearby home, who had no idea what was happening, was sitting down for dinner when a brick went through their window. The husband of the house went to open the door to figure out what the commotion was, and was assaulted right there on his doorstep and was beaten to death. That was just the beginning. As the riot continued on, people were dragged out of their homes and beaten in the street or even executed. Women, fearing for their children's lives, began to hide their children in the attics or under beds. In one family, a young girl and a boy were hiding under a bed when a man came in with a gun. As he was searching the room for him, he accidentally stepped on the boy's hand, and to keep the boy from screaming out, his sister stuck her hand over his mouth, but then he clamped down in pain and bit in her hand, so she had to use her other hand to keep herself from screaming out. These families who thought their kids and elderly were safe were soon to realize that they weren't when the KKK joined in, burning everything they could get a hold of. A couple hours later, the military showed up, or so they thought, with World War I airplanes, and they thought they were safe. Unfortunately, these planes were hijacked by people who had served in the war and were using these airplanes to bomb the community. As the fires raged on, more and more panic happened. As the fires raged on, more and more panic, and I'm nervous now.
You're doing great.
You're doing good.
Okay, the fires raged on for a total of 16 hours. When the military actually showed up, people thought that, oh my gosh, I'm so nervous. Can I start over?
No, you're halfway through.
When the military showed up, people didn't trust them because they thought the airplanes before were the military. So the
Friggin'
military was
Adele.
dismayed. When they started taking control of the situation, they had to bury 6 to 10 people per unmarked grave. They told the newspapers that only 26 deaths happened and only 3 injured, but in reality, there was over 1,200 injured and 800 deaths. The aftermath was 35 square blocks destroyed, a total of 21 churches, 21 grocery stores, 2 movie theaters, 30 restaurants, 1,256 homes, and a hospital. In September of that year, Sarah Page finally announced that it was all a lie.